I'm Jim.
And I'm Frank.
And I'm Jerry.
And this is the JFJ Conspiracy Podcast, where the shop talk is rock. Jerry, Jim, this is episode 130. Wow. It just keeps on going, doesn't it?
Wow, it does.
Yeah.
Just like us.
Just so like us.
So much great music to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, there is. Yeah.
And what a coincidence, this episode. We're going to talk about Jerry's pick, A Different Kind of Truth, and what's been released by Mr. Roth. Where'd he go?
There he is.
David Lee Roth himself, kind of responding to why A Different Kind of Truth has not been released, and a little bit of poking some Wolfie a little bit too. So
can't help.
He's been ripping on that guy lately.
Well, I think he's finally had enough. He was quiet the whole time. He's been quiet since Eddie passed away about anything negative whatsoever. I know Eddie kind of, he was done with Van Halen. This album, we'll talk about it when we get into it. It was a swan song. I think Eddie knew he wasn't working with Dave anymore. I just got that feeling.
Yeah.
And I think David Lee Roth kind of resented maybe a little bit of having to work with Wolfie on tour. I don't know. Kind of feels that way. That one video that Dave put out, he's talking about how Wolfie had a couple of Dave's guests kicked out of the shows, and they were actually accountants.
Had to be the people with the paychecks, as a matter
of fact. Not once, but twice.
Twice.
If there's any merit and truth to any of that, shame on him. But I can't see this kid was in the band for a hot second, in all reality.
Yeah.
What kind of juice did he really have with that? I don't know. He was a twinkle in his dad's eye for the whole time Dave was a superstar in the band.
Yeah.
So I find it, Wolf has said several times, hey, you've seen the interviews with my dad. You've made your own opinions about him. He didn't hold back. And so it is what it is.
Yeah.
But then the second video that Dave puts out, he's explaining, hey, the reason Different Kind of Truth isn't out there because it's not a very good album. He doesn't like it. I don't think that's the truth at all. I love it too. I think what it is.
He's never sounded better.
I think what it is, hey, kid, you screwed with me on this tour. Guess what? I'm going to screw with your paycheck now, because you're getting no streaming money from this thing because he's got the say in it.
Well, if Dave is to be believed,
mm-hmm.
and originally the talk was Wolf was basically pointing all the fingers at Dave.
Right.
And according to Dave, it was a band decision that Alex was absolutely in on, saying it wasn't worth the time and effort and the amount of money that they would have to spend to negotiate streaming revenue
to make it worthwhile
for an album that nobody seemed to care about.
Right. Now, the hypocrisy to me is, on one hand, Wolf is saying, oh, it's, Dave won't release this thing. And then in another interview, he says, everybody thinks my dad was the shot caller in Van Halen, but it wasn't the whole time. It was Al. Al is the brains of Van Halen, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
Love it.
So make up your mind. Which is it?
Yeah.
And you guys know, especially from the graphic on my shoulder, I am Camp Dave all the way. I have the t-shirt from the David Lee Roth Army that says David Lee Roth is Van Halen. I love that. He was again, Eddie was awesome. Don't get me wrong. I'm not putting any disparage whatsoever on Eddie, but I do not personally think that band would went to the heights that they went to without David Lee Roth. That's my opinion.
I think they were the sum of their parts.
Absolutely.
Very much. And maybe even bigger. Well, you can't say bigger than the sum of their parts because Ed was next level.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But what kind of a front man?
They would have been, without Eddie, I think they would have just been a really great rock band.
Bar band, maybe?
Maybe something a little little bigger, right? But I don't think they would have had the career they had.
But do you think Eddie would have been a superstar without David Lee Roth? Because who heard of Van Halen before that? I know all the rock guitarists and they all say, "Oh, we went to see Eddie. We went to see Eddie." Eddie wasn't the focal point, really. The front man was. That, again, my opinion. I'm Camp Dave all the way, always will be.
It's kind of interesting. A lot of the guys that I kind of knew who sort of opened up for Van Halen and had played numerous times with Van Halen in the bars. They never really sung Ed's praises or anything. I mean, other than, oh yeah, we used to open up for them, or we played with them, or whatever. I think everybody kind of loved that first Van Halen record and what he was doing, what he brought to the table. But there, I don't know, maybe it's because he was one of the guys, right? So like there was no sort of reverence there.
So let me ask you this then, and Jerry, I want you to chime in. Why did the dynamic change so much when Dave left and Sammy came in? The whole sound of the band changed. The whole identity of the band changed at that point.
I loved it when I first heard the first album with Sammy and all the keyboard and stuff. I loved it. I like this. I like this stuff with Sammy, except their last one. Balance is a little. But
it was such a departure from what got them to where they were.
Yeah. Change is, however you want to look at it. I'd be curious to see how many albums they sold with Dave and how many they sold with Sammy. Be curious about that stat.
I think they sold more with Sammy, I believe, because they were more radio friendly.
Yeah.
They weren't a rock band anymore. They became kind of a rock pop band almost because of Sammy's style.
Yeah.
Which I think was fine with Ed.
Oh yeah. Well, the musicianship of Ed got to expand with the keyboards, and he had another guitarist playing also.
Oh, yeah.
So, but yeah, we've been down this road so many times, and I
know.
I don't want to.
I'm definitely Camp. I'm definitely Camp Dave.
Yeah.
I thought 5150 was good, but it wasn't the same. It wasn't.
No.
Didn't have the same energy.
And I'm going to tell you, our buddy Jeff Brenneman always tells me I need to separate the artist from the human being because they're two separate things. And the internet spoiled me on Eddie Van Halen. I remember seeing interviews with him on YouTube and everything, especially when he was drugged out. He was a bitter pill to swallow. And I lost a lot of respect for him as a human being. And then again, not being the Sammy era fan, it just kind of rode right along with that for me. And I stayed with Camp Dave and all his craziness and his Vegas and his showmanship and all that stuff that's entertainment to me. I enjoyed that more. It was more fun than the Eddie just became so serious and gloom and doom, in my opinion.
I've got a story I'll share with you guys afterwards.
Very good. All right. Let's jump into a mail call then. Got to let you guys know we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're everywhere. Check us out, join us, let us know what you think about Van Halen before and after. And I want to know what everybody thinks about A Different Kind of Truth also when we start talking about that. But right now, Jim, mail call, what do you got for us?
Mail call. So what I have is Material Issue Out of Time.
All right.
Blu-ray. This is the sort of deluxe edition. It's got a different cover.
Yeah.
It's an illustration of Jim and rest of the band on there. It's nice packaging. It's got a 25-page book in it with some
sweet.
Wow.
Great liner notes. Also comes with besides the actual feature film, it's got Matt Pinfield extended interview, live 1991 sound check of The Loneliest Heart.
Oh,
It's got the trailer on there plus the 24-page book. And so great package altogether.
good deal. That's on Blu-ray.
It's on Blu-ray.
Cool.
Oh,
Matt Pinfield, boy, talk about a charm life.
Right?
He has been in the mix with so many great bands to interview and play videos and just a little bit of everything. And he's one of those guys. I've never been offended by anything he says. He has just been straightforward. He's a fan. He lets you know he's a fan, and he shares the information. Great stuff.
Yeah. He's in the film.
Oh,
Talking
cool.
about the band and whatnot. So
Cool. All right, I've got a few things here. Want to thank our friend Tony Floyd Kenna. Got some
thanks,
CDs
Tony.
in the mail. Yeah.
All righty.
nice.
So make
Yeah.
sure I get
Thanks,
those
Tony.
distributed. Also, you may see this again later, but it's the Glimmer Stars, and it's the
Ooh.
rise of the Glimmer Stars. I think it's 20 tracks on here, 22 tracks.
22.
Yeah.
Wow.
Came with a Rum Bar sticker and a Glimmer Stars sticker. And I bought a package also, the Machines. I'm not familiar with, but I will check them out. Also, another Rum Bar act. So got that. And then last episode, you guys remember Night Sobs?
Yes.
I played them last episode, and I liked them so much I ordered both of their LPs.
Oh, nice.
So
Oh,
pick this
nice.
up. Yeah, I got this. And here's their original one, Do the Sob.
Oh, all right.
Great cover.
Isn't that
Love
is
that.
yeah, that is great. Fade
Fantastic.
Out was the one that featured the tune that I played last episode, but those arrived. I want to thank the guys for that. Jittery Jeff is his name. Just fun music. You know, I love that. Well, everything about that. Anyways, wow. What do you guys want to do? You want to play some new music, or you want to jump into our Mount Rushmore of the 1960s? What do you think?
Whatever you want.
Why don't we hit Rushmore first?
There it is there. Okay. Let's start with Jerry. Let's hear your 4 bands, acts, performers of the 60s that you would have on Mount Rushmore.
Beatles, Stones, Beach Boys, Doors.
Okay.
I know there's a ton of other stuff out there, but I was gonna look through my library. I go, don't do that. Just off the top of your head. Just try to, and it took about a week. But yeah, Beatles, Stones, Beach Boys, Doors. Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna tell you, I agree halfway with you. Yeah. Excellent choices, all 4 of them.
Mm.
I think we'll all agree. Beatles,
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Stones,
Mm-hmm.
and this is where I swerve a little bit. Chuck Berry and Bob Dylan.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And the reason being, Chuck Berry put out, I think, 10 albums in the 60s. And if
Yeah.
it wasn't for the way he played guitar, no one would be playing guitar that way
Nope.
today.
We wouldn't have any Rushmore. Yeah.
It was influential. So, and Dylan for the songwriting.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Dylan came very, very close to making
okay.
mine, but didn't quite make the cut.
All right. What do you have?
I've got, no surprise, Beatles,
Hmm.
Beach Boys,
Right.
Jimi Hendrix,
Very good.
because
that was close, Jaime.
that guy changed the way everybody played guitar, right? Innovator. And the last one, the Rolling Stones.
The Stones. Very good. And you know what? I would agree with you on Hendrix.
I
But-
had him.
I lean more almost. I know he had such a short career,
Yeah.
and I'm like, okay, do I put him in the 70s? Do I put him in the 60s? Yeah, we'll just go a different direction all the way around. So, and the Beach Boys, I can't argue with that either, because they defined that
Yep.
California sound, that beach sound.
Absolutely.
And I've always told you guys, I'm not a huge Beach Boys fan, but I love the early stuff, 409 and
So do I.
the real surf music
Yeah.
that they started with.
Surf and Cars. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And then they went off in a different direction, and all that talent, just amazing with what they did. Yeah. Just, you can't go wrong with the Beach Boys. You can't go wrong with Hendrix. No.
I came
had
kind of
Hendrix.
close. Came kind of close to throwing Zeppelin on the list.
Right.
But for me, they're really a 70s band. I mean,
Me
they're
too.
Same here.
they came in right at the end of the 60s, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I think the 70s is going to be a slobber knocker, because that is
Oh,
when
that's gonna be.
it just all erupted. And
Well,
it is going to be interesting to hear where you guys are at as far as who you leave off and who you put on, because who's left off is just as important in the 70s, because there's so many influential bands.
Yeah.
You know?
It's going to be a tough one.
Yeah. So excellent. I knew you couldn't go wrong with the Beatles and Stones and Who and
No.
the Beach Boys, and just, it was, again, I facetiously said, oh, we won't worry about the 50s, because that was Elvis, and there were a few other bands that really were taken up, but that was the birth of it, and it wasn't our era. It doesn't mean we can't appreciate it and love it, but I can't dig into it so much to where I could say this is a Mount Rushmore, because wasn't there.
No.
Yeah, I would
All right.
I would
I'd go-
definitely throw Chuck Berry in the 50s.
Well,
I'd go
that's when
Buddy
it all
Holly.
started.
I'd go Buddy Holly.
Mhm.
Elvis, of course.
Right.
Buddy,
Yeah.
Elvis, Chuck, and maybe Carl Perkins or
Yeah.
Or Roy. Maybe.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't know how big Roy Orbison was. No,
Well,
he
they
might be
were
more
there.
60s too. I'm not sure. Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Huh.
And what about our listeners? What's your Mount Rushmore? I guarantee
From the
almost
60s, folks. Yeah.
almost everybody says Beatles and Stones. Almost everybody. You've got a few people out there, and they may have some blood relation to you, Jim, that don't really feel the Beatles are that influential whatsoever. I don't understand that thought process.
Oh, I don't know that they would say not influential.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know. There's always those people who are going to say, "Oh, the Beatles are totally overrated."
Overrated. Yeah.
And I'm not a Beatles sycophant, but I would not say they are overrated.
Yeah.
Uh,
No, they are up there, and of course, it's always Beatles plus George Martin. You know, because that was so important.
once
to
he
the whole-
gets into the picture, right?
Right.
Yeah.
All right, let's jump into some new music, and let's start with you, Jerry. What do you have for us?
Yeah, Jim and Frank, I have a band out of Boston called Speedfossil. And Speedfossil is the creation of singer-songwriter Garrett Vandermolen. And that same Garrett Vandermolen is on vocals, guitar, keyboards, and percussion. We got Dan Jordan on guitar, backing vocals, Michael Scotty on bass, Chris Walsh on drums and percussion. The name of the album, it's pre-order, folks, on Conspiracy Land, but we get to nibble on this little song here. The complete album is due April 5th. It's called Room with a View, Volume 1, and View is spelled V-U, Room with a View, I guess. Volume 1. The song Frank's going to spin is Magic Trick. And what I love about Magic Trick, our friend Garrett lost a good friend of his, Pat Wallace, and his nickname was Trick. So I'm going to use the air quotes, folks on Conspiracy Land. So what he tried to do to, I guess, heal is to write a song about it. And Garrett says he wanted to make it up tempo so as to not sound like a dirge. And the quote about the verse lyrics in the song is as a double entendre. He says, I need a magic trick so I can bring you back, my friend. Show me the magic trick, his friend, so you can make me laugh again. Email at thesoundcove@gmail.com. And this is recorded at Woolly Mammoth Sound, Waltham, Mass. Mastered by Alex McCullough at True East, Nashville. And again, Speedfossil with the song Magic Trick.
Struck down beyond belief. The only thing you feel is grief. No one seems to be getting through. There are no nothing much to see, just the tears in your eyes. And I need a magic trick so I can bring you back, my friend. Show me that magic trick so you can make me laugh again.
All right, there's Speedfossil with Magic Trick, a happy, sad song. What do you think, Jim?
I think that's a good way to put it. A happy, sad song. I love the way it kicked
Yeah.
off right at the beginning. Like just, jumped into it. I thought it was very well arranged. Nicely written. It's thoughtful without, right. It never gets sappy at any point.
No. Heartfelt song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. With beautiful vocals. Just the
Mhm.
Just the backing. Yeah.
Yeah. I like the vocal arrangement.
right.
It seems very there's this idea that we're going to meet down the road kind of thing.
Yes.
I kind of love that.
Yeah.
It's
I do too.
it's very hopeful, I guess.
Yeah.
Right. There you
So,
go.
Yeah.
Well
Thank
done.
you. Thank
Right
you.
on.
Speedfossil. Thank you, Garrett. And
Great name.
Yeah.
Right.
I agree. I love that name. And thanks to Pat Wallace, your buddy Trick. Thank you.
Yes.
Wonderful song.
All right. Check them out on Bandcamp.
Yeah.
Good stuff. I'm going to jump
Yeah.
right in, if I can, to our next band, and then we're going to go over some George Harrison stuff. And the reason being, that was such a, like I said, heartfelt song. I really,
It's
really
beautiful.
enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's beautiful.
So what I want to play for you guys now is from a band called Pepperwood. They're in Nashville, Tennessee. The song's called Cup of Tea, from their upcoming album Chronicles. And I'm a little confused because I have the email that I got from Zach. I think it comes out today, which is the 5th, February 5th. But on Bandcamp, it shows it being released April 5th. So you have to check out Bandcamp either way. I already pre-ordered it, so I'll get it when I get it, I guess. And Zach says, all I've ever wanted to do is create music that moves people, whether in their hearts or their feet. And if I'm lucky, both simultaneously. And the song I'm going to play for you again is called Cup of Tea with by Zach Wyatt. Bass is played by Tyler Owens, guitars, Andrew Cantrell and Caleb Elder, and drums are Hunter Curry. And again, the song is called Cup of Tea.
But I only drink champagne. taking off her dress. Oh, she says, I am your father's nightmare, the burden of your tires. Take my hand, set me on fire. You are a dance with the devil, nicotine lips. So come give me another kiss. I am your father's nightmare, the burden of your tires. Take my hand, set me on fire. You are the dance with the devil, nicotine lips. And I need another fix.
How about Pepperwood with Cup of Tea? Let's start with you, Jim. What are your thoughts?
I like this a lot. Nice mid-paced rock song. I wouldn't have, almost a little Nashville influence in there. I wouldn't say it's country rock by any stretch,
No,
but
no. A lot
um,
going on.
yeah,
Very busy.
well
song.
engineered, well produced, and I think it's a well written song. I like it.
All right. Jerry, what about you?
I like it too. I like that dirty sound of that guitar intro. Just sounds like it's recorded farther away or whatever. I like that. The lyrics were awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, lips. So that I but yeah, that song, that's very good, Frank. Good pick. That's great. I like that a lot. I just like that. It's very different. Very, again, to me, like dirty, like fuzzy, like, but I like it. I wouldn't say fuzzy, take that back, but the dirty part, just when it starts, I'm like going,
Yeah.
I like that. I like that little muffled, little underneath, but the lyrics are great. Yeah.
I love the production of that song because
Yeah. That's a
you've
good
got
song.
several guitar parts going on there and they don't clash in a bad way at
No.
all. Everything is just nice and clear of what's
Where it's
going
supposed to be.
Do you guys remember that band Semisonic?
Yeah.
Closing Time?
Yeah.
That
Oh,
tune?
yeah.
This reminds me of that type of bar tune that you might hear
Yeah.
towards the end of the night, where
I like that.
you know,
Semisonic. Yeah, semisonic.
these,
Uh,
I don't know if the styles are so much the same. It's just the style of the song was what reminded me of that. It would be a fun song to hear at a bar right about time to go home. So anyways, that is Pepperwood. Check them out. They've got on Bandcamp anyways, quite a few singles and another album, I believe, also. But you can check all their music out, and they've got a web page to go along with that as well. So that is Pepperwood, and the album is
right.
Chronicles. All right, let's talk. And I don't mean to be rushing this episode along, but I got a message on my phone that Spectrum internet is down in the area, and I haven't been affected yet, so I don't want that to interfere with anything that's going on.
Let's hope we make it through.
That's what I have too. So yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
same.
you were a little jittery there on my end, Jerry. I don't know if it was.
Same.
Am I? You
Yeah.
guys, everything's clear here.
You,
Huh.
would have thought you were Max Headroom there for a minute, but it's okay.
Cocologists.
Yeah. So. So let's talk about our top 3 favorite George Harrison tunes, because this is Jerry's pick. And what led you to pick that for us, Jerry?
I don't know. I do this show off the hip, aside from my notes, folks. You guys know that. But just popped in when it came up. I don't know why. Just maybe I might have heard a song earlier that day or something's fresh in my head.
Okay.
And then that's why I was specific, not Beatles, George Harrison. So
okay, just for giggles, Jim, if it was a Beatles tune, what's your first George Harrison Beatles tune you'd pick?
Oh, Taxman.
Oh,
absolutely.
That's what I said.
Absolutely, guys. The triple.
Yeah.
Oh, it would be right up there, but
that's hilarious. I love that song.
You know what else I really love? I Want to Tell You.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Here Comes the Sun.
Right.
Yeah, of course. Gently weeps.
George was the hidden gem of the band. No matter what anybody says, just so talented. So talented. All right, Jerry, what are your top 3 George Harrison solo songs?
Now I just did these off the top of my head, folks, on Conspiracy Land, because I knew if I went and start looking through the albums, I'd never come up with 3. So What Is Life off his debut, Got My Main Set on You by Cloud9, where he came back after the 5 or 6 year hiatus.
Big hit too.
Subconscious plagiarism.
Right.
And then Cracker Box Palace, 33 and a third.
Right.
I've always loved that song. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll tell you mine. Off of Cloud9, how about Devil's Radio? Love that tune.
Ooh.
And then Not Guilty from the George Harrison album from 1979. And the song that he wrote about John all those years ago. Love.
Oh, yeah.
That song.
Yeah.
Such a great
tune. I
tune.
forgot that one.
Yeah.
I forgot that one. I'm glad I didn't go back through stuff because I would have
so nice.
100 of them. Yeah.
So nice. So sentimental.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was.
Okay, Jim, what about you?
Well, I told you mine are all kind of a little more classic. So I'm going to go 3, 2, and 1.
Mm-hmm.
My Sweet Lord. Just kind of a sentimental favorite.
Okay.
It is.
They're all sentimental favorites.
Yep.
Give Me Love. Give Me Peace on Earth.
I love that one. Yep.
And my numero uno, What Is Life?
What is life? All right. Again, you can't, it's like Mount Rushmore with George Harrison. You can't go wrong on all.
Can't go
no,
wrong
you
on any-
cannot.
A lot of stuff.
His popular song, he's got some obscure stuff there too, but the songs you've heard
does.
on the radio and the songs you're familiar with, you've heard them for a reason. They're just good songs.
Yeah. They're good songs.
Yeah.
Really. And I love when you go back and you listen to, I know we didn't pick any Wilbury songs on purpose, but when you go back and listen to those tunes, his influence on those songs are so strong.
Yeah.
And you had Superstars. That was a mega group, and I think George Harrison was the one that was the shining member of that whole deal.
Yeah.
So, well, not bad at all. Now, Jim, you're going to have to pick for the next episode, top 3 songs and a classic album. Hold on to that, because right now you got to give us a band to listen to.
Yeah, and you already showed them up there, Glimmer Stars.
Yep.
The Mini Mendez Project. I just did kind of a quick look to see since 2000.
Yeah.
Like 23 years these guys been doing it, right? Various band members over that time, but a brand new compilation that just got released by Rumbar. It's sort of retrospective. 22 songs and everyone's a gem.
Yes. And we got to talk about another thing also, but have you spoken to Minnie and how he got associated with Rumbar to get this release?
Yeah, actually I did.
Well,
you want me to go into it?
Just share if you can quickly. Yeah.
Okay. So Richie plays in another band that was on Rumbar.
Boom, boom.
And so he got to talking with Tony, and he just said, "Oh, well, I'm in this other band." And he said, well, let me hear it. And he just freaked out when he sent over the Glimmer Stars tunes, and
gotcha.
Loved
it.
The
rest is history.
Rest is history,
as
they say. So the song we're going to pick, this is a little older one. It's not new, but I kind of pulled this one out because it's Jake's favorite song, but I love it too. It's called Marcella. So go ahead and drop the needle in the groove, Frank.
All right. How about them Glimmer Stars with Marcella? What'd you think, Jerry?
Love it.
Yeah.
I love Armini and Boom Boom and the guys, and just good, simple music. Nothing complicated, nice and easy, nice to listen to. Good production, good everything. They've been at it for a while. But yeah, thanks Minnie and the boys, and you can't go wrong with the Glimmer Stars tune. I don't think.
No, and
I don't think you can.
that I like that one. Great pick, Jim, because it was a slower paced tune of theirs, and really heartfelt. Again, we're in this mushy bunch of music tonight.
A little bit.
It's
yeah.
all the rain. It's all the rain. Guys.
It must be,
It
but
must
it's
be the
all
rain.
good.
Everything's
It's-
mushy outside. Yeah,
yeah, I love it.
I do too.
But it's always
Anyway,
Yes, sir.
go to Bandcamp, search out Rumbar Records. You'll find that new release. If you decide to get a hard copy of it,
they are available.
use the code RUM10, I believe it is, and you'll get 10% off.
Sweet.
And I think through February. So take advantage. Get out there. And there's not a bad track on this
No.
22
album. You will
gems.
thank yourself.
And
22
February
gems.
has an extra day this year, folks on Conspiracy Land, so you have no excuse.
Yeah.
There it is.
There's a whole
there.
Don't
extra
miss it.
day. Whole
All
extra
right.
day.
Always a pleasure to hear music from Minnie.
It
Um,
is. It is.
The other thing I wanted to talk about that we talked about before the show, Jim, Stephen Wesley Giles has a new album out,
He does.
and I didn't see his live stream the other night. I was all set up for it, and something happened. I got taken away, but I guess he did some live tunes from that album that's coming out or that is already out.
It's out.
It's out now. Okay, good deal. Another one. You if you get a chance to get an interview with him and get some info on that, that would be great.
Yeah. All instrumental. First time he's done anything all instrumental. So
Right.
Oh wow.
He's another one. He's got a gift that, and I'm
Yeah.
so happy that Jim introduced us to his music. Only because it's another one. Talk about he's uplifting in a lot of his music. Very talented with his guitar playing and his arrangements. Just a special guy.
yeah. And an interesting way of looking at the world, I think, too.
I agree. I agree. All right, guys. What do you say, Jerry, Jim? We talk about
Yeah.
a different kind of truth.
I think
Let's
that's
do it.
partly why we're here. Let's do it.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. Yeah.
You picked it, Jerry. So what do you got to say about that album?
Folks on Conspiracy Land. I've been listening. I stopped recently, but I was listening to it for like 3 weeks straight. Edward, in my opinion, has never sounded better. The addition of Wolfie, I didn't like at first. I took offense to it because when
Right.
it first came out, I wasn't really all over it. I have been lately, and Wolfie's addition, his bass work on a couple of tunes, I go, you know what? I like that. This is their first album for Dave since 18, 28 years, something like that. The first album, Van Halen album, period, for 14? What was Van Halen 3? 98? This is 012. So, I mean, to me, Edward has never sounded better. The band's never sounded tighter. I'm sure it has a lot to do with the recording and the, modern technology. But yeah, I love this album. I love it. I love the heck out of it. That's what I got to say. I've just been jamming to it for 3 weeks straight.
Why do you think it got panned? Well, actually, the critics loved it, I think, right? Didn't it come out?
I'm
when it
trying to
came out?
remember what I heard back then. It was
It
2012.
debuted at
and I
number
heard-
2.
Yeah.
It did well.
Yeah.
But
I like it.
Maybe
Maybe
it's the-
radios have changed. Maybe, listening bands has changed. I don't know. I'm trying to think what happened in 012.
Well, it's funny. We talked about how much we dislike Tattoo being the
They should have.
Person.
Yeah.
But you know what? When you listen to the lyrics of that song, it is exactly what was going on at that time. I remember
Yep.
being at work and every freaking idiot wanted you to tell me the story of the dragon going around the nipple and around the back and over to the other nipple and why and what it symbolized. That's just what everything was doing at that time.
Sexy dragon magic. Yeah.
Oh.
I think was what he says. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean that's what
Excuse me.
that particular time that song was so current and spot on,
Yeah.
you know. And I think it was released. I really believe that they just told Dave, whatever, just run with whatever you want, because you didn't get a lot
They'd
of
still
press.
be recording it. Yeah.
They did have.
No.
I did see
Pretty
interviews
silent.
where Eddie talked good about Dave and how deep his lyrics are when you really listen to him. And Dave is the king of the innuendo and everything else.
Yep.
His lyrics are fantastic when you listen to them and put them in context to what he is or isn't saying. And I think this album was his shining moment for that.
This is a great album.
Jim, what were your initial thoughts?
Housewife to Bombshell, and the time it took to get that new tattoo. Yep.
I am really glad that we revisited this because I think I kind of dismissed this record when
a lot
it
of
first
people
came
did.
out. I didn't. Even now, Tattoo is probably my least favorite song on the album.
Very simple tune musically, really, compared to the rest of the stuff that's going on. 7 of the songs were
it didn't really rock the way I wanted it to rock. So
I was just
going back to it now. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
same here, guys. I got stuck. I got 2 weeks straight, guys.
Now, I'm going to tell you something that won't be popular with either one of you guys. I've kind of alluded to this. Did
Never
either
stopped
of
you before.
Did either of you listen to the last David Lee Roth, the DLR Band album? I think John 5 was on guitar, and
no,
it was an in-your-face album that band could have done this album. Because like I said, this was such a Dave up front album to me. And you're right. It could be the production, but his vocals, the talking in between and doing all the deep stuff in between.
Tons of talking. Yeah.
And I love that.
And then what he's saying, it's to me, he's talking to Edward.
Yeah.
On all this stuff. He's talking to Edward on all this stuff,
but these songs, those lyrics anyways, would have fit perfectly with one of his solo albums. And I know Jim says this has got Eddie all over it, and it does. Eddie's rocking. He's kicking butt and taking names almost.
He's never sounded better to me. Yeah.
But I ask you this, and I go back. I digress. Did he do anything like that with Sammy Hagar?
Oh no.
No.
Why you add one piece of one ingredient and it's so different again?
Yeah, it's different.
Is there even any keyboard on this album?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think there is.
If there is, it's hidden.
It's undercover. Yeah.
It's a different sum of parts because it's different parts.
Yeah.
Because Dave sings differently. Everybody has to play differently.
Maybe so. Do you think this would have been? So I was talking to a friend about this today. Do you think this would have been a better record had Michael been on it?
No.
No difference, because the backing vocals that they did sounded like Michael. They emulated him so much.
They did.
You know, if you listen to some of those Woman that's that's Michael Anthony.
Yeah.
It's just You and Your Tattoo, or You and Your Blues. I mean, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That is, they tried to do Michael to a T.
Yes, they did.
And I think, no disrespect to Michael, but I think
none
is a
whatsoever.
better musician. His genes say so, as far as he plays the bass like his dad plays guitar.
Yep.
You know.
But it took me this long to figure that out, Jaime. This last 3-week run, Jaime, I was like, you know what? Wolfie is doing some different stuff that Michael wouldn't have done.
No.
And Frank, you nailed it. Wolfie's trying to do a little Edward on his bass.
Right.
And I wouldn't doubt Eddie might have just said, "Hey, play this." Who knows? Who knows?
Who
But-
produced this?
Oh, that's a good
I don't
one.
remember to look that up.
I don't either. Yeah,
I'm sure they produced it themselves.
I wonder if they did.
Yes.
Yeah, might have been
Yeah.
in house.
I'm gonna see if I can find it real quick
Yeah,
here.
check that out. It'd be interesting to see. Here we go. Let's see.
Says Van Halen and John Shanks.
There it is, John Shanks. Okay.
So I guess when you say Van Halen, they're talking about the entire band.
Yeah, could be.
Was somebody coming in? I don't know.
John
Yeah,
Shanks.
that could have been Eddie's crack dealer. Who knows at that point,
Yeah.
you know? So I
Could
don't
have been
know.
anybody sitting in the studio.
That's just it. It could have been the pizza guy. Hey, you turn that knob.
What's your
I'm gonna give
name?
you credit. But 7 of these songs, I've already said it before, 7 of these songs are reworked older tunes from the 70s and 80s. They just redid the lyrics and changed up the demos a little bit. And I think that has a lot to do with why it sounds like the classic Van Halen sound and not the Van Hagar era. Even the production of it sounds different,
It's different.
Yeah,
and it's all recorded at 5150, I'm sure. So
of course.
how does that happen? I don't think Sammy had his hands on the knobs, so to speak. I don't think Eddie would allow that. I know they just played differently. And
Yeah,
these
it's different sounding sonically. It's different.
for me, and again, it goes back to Dave. These songs are fun songs. I just love listening to them, and Dave's spin on things. Where I didn't get that with the other version of the band. So sad it was their last effort, but I don't think Eddie was going to continue much longer with Dave, so to speak.
No.
I think this, and from what I've read, the live album they put out was all Dave. He did everything on it as far as he picked the songs. He got
To
to
me, that
choose.
was a money grab.
Well, they never had a live album with Dave, and they had Live Without a Net with Sammy. So it's only
Yeah, they
fair
had
Dave
two.
gets
Yeah,
his live
Without a
album.
Net. Yeah, someone else. Yeah,
And it's garbage because Dave is Dave at this point. He's not a
Yeah.
singer.
Yeah, he's talking.
He's a beat behind every time, but that's been his singing style since I can remember.
Yeah.
But I love it. Again, Dave does no wrong, but it's not a great album. It's not one I listen to very often. I've got it on CD. I don't listen to it very often. This one, I'll throw this one on quite a bit. I put it on my phone.
3 weeks straight, guys. 3 weeks straight.
So
Probably do it again after the show.
yeah. So with all that being said, Jerry, what is your favorite tune on A Different Kind of Truth?
Currently, it's Out of Space.
Okay.
Just
That's
Eddie's working.
fast-packed.
It's just loaded.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
It's just unbelievable.
Dun-dun-dun-dun.
Yeah. And I don't think Alex, other than Hot for Teacher, I don't think he gets the credit he deserves on what a fantastic drummer he is.
No, he doesn't. No,
Yeah.
he doesn't.
Man, he's all over the
Fair.
place too. So, and Dave, his singing is gone at this point too. He's doing that upper register stuff that doesn't.
Yeah, but I
You
mean,
know. It's sad almost, but at the same time, again, it's Dave. You can't.
yeah, he's not gonna change now.
Right. Now, my favorite tune right here, The Trouble with Never. And my favorite line of Dave's on this album is, when you turn your radio on, does it return the favor?
Yeah,
Genius.
I don't know. Think
That is a
about it
great
later.
line.
Yeah.
When you turn on the radio, does it?
Let's let Dave do it, Jerry.
Favor?
Let's just let.
Oh, I'm
let's just
sorry.
let- yeah, thank you.
I like that line.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Just fantastic. Just
Then you
fantastic.
change your mind. Oh
Jim, what about you?
I
Not tattoo, huh?
today, no, not tattoo. I'm gonna
No.
go with Chinatown.
Okay. Little rough for me. Chinatown's a little. But there's Wolfie and Eddie playing.
Tapping with Dad. Yep.
Yep.
That's Van Halen to me.
That's Van
That
Halen.
is.
Yep. Right.
Nice double bass.
Yeah. This is just a hard rocking album. It's
What's
just
that one
line?
fantastic.
That one album, one line, a headless body and a topless bar.
Yep.
I love that.
Van Hagar never would have done this song.
No.
Well, that's the thing. I don't think there's any tunes on here that Sammy could pull off and make it. Not saying he couldn't sing them, but he couldn't
Yeah.
sing them
No,
convincingly.
this is Dave.
to
Yeah,
where
this
it's-
is Dave.
Yeah. So I don't know. Great album. It's a shame that it's not available on iTunes for
It is. I'm glad I already had it. I'm glad I already bought, which is funny, but because I bought it from iTunes, but I bought it when it came out.
Yeah.
So I've had it on my phone for 10, 11 years.
Same here.
So thank God I did, because I already had
Right.
it.
I tried to find a physical copy, like
right.
kind of all over them.
Really?
Nothing that I could get here anytime soon.
Right.
Yeah.
I saw a couple on eBay. I saw the LP available and I almost picked it up. It was $65 or something. But
Where'd
then
you see it for $65?
It was on eBay. But the guy said
eBay's-
this is not a official release. So it was an aftermarket.
Yeah, there's a couple aftermarkets out there.
Yeah.
I saw them for about $600.
Oh yeah, that would probably be the legit deal there.
That'd probably be original. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm not spending that much for a record. That's just not
No.
happening.
I'm
No.
glad I got mine when I did.
Yep. So, okay. Van Halen, a different kind of truth. Pretty good swan song for a band that
I would agree.
did a full circle there, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and I don't know how you guys feel about all this reunion business as far as tribute shows. There's no point in doing it. Eddie's dead. He's gone. Well, who are you doing the tribute for? The fans? Do they need it?
Well, who would be in it? Who'd be in the tribute band? Yeah.
I know the money. I know. Well, that's just it.
For
They're
the
going
Do Re
out
Mi,
with-
baby.
They're going
Right.
out with Joe Satriani and Sammy Hagar and Michael and you know, Wolf may come along here and there.
If Alex was going to do it, I would maybe
Yeah.
consider.
That would lend some credibility to it.
I'd
Yeah,
rather
if
see
Alex
Alex
is there.
do something with somebody else, non Van Halen related. I'd rather see
Oh.
him put out some new music if he's even so inclined to do so. And I don't think he
Yeah.
is.
No, his brother
So-
passed. He might be done. Yeah.
Yeah. You
Never know.
All right, Jim, you've got the next. Let's start off with a classic album for us to revisit. What do you got for us?
Boy, I'm going to go with this might surprise you guys a little.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to go with Quiet Riot, Metal Health.
Mental Health. All right. Good album.
Distinctive in that it was the first heavy metal album to hit the #1 spot on the Billboard Top 100.
Right.
Yep.
And I think I've shared with you guys before. I never saw them live before this album came out, and they were being played on the radio. And I pictured Kevin DeBrow as this just hulking vest, black leather vest, muscles, greasy mammoth of a man for some reason. I don't know why. And then when I saw him, I'm like, wow.
Yeah, he doesn't sound like what he looks like at all.
He is such a monster. I mean, he's a tall guy, but he had such
He's a tall guy.
monster voice that
And he's a skinny dude.
very skinny. Yeah, he was, but did not fit what I thought he would look like at all. But man, he could sing. I enjoyed. Very distinctive voice also.
Yep.
All right, Metal Health. We'll have to check that out. What about 3 tunes for us from what band?
Well, since we did George Harrison,
Uh-oh.
Go, Jaime.
Ringo.
say- oh, Ringo. Okay, Ringo it is.
Oh, not my pick. It's your pick.
Well, it was a toss up between Ringo and Paul McCartney.
Okay.
So let's go Paul McCartney, and that
Yeah,
includes
let's.
Wings.
Paul Mecca. All right. I can do that.
Yep.
You do whatever.
I know. That's true. Now, have you gone back and listened to any of his older solo albums?
Like Ram, or
Yeah,
like what are we
let's
talking
start-
about?
Yeah, let's go back to say Ram or just
Well,
McCartney.
It's been a long time.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm finding, and maybe it's just as my tastes have changed over the years, he is one of those artists that has 3 or 4 great tunes and then a bunch of stuff that I just can't get into. You know, Lennon's the same way. I don't love all of John Lennon's stuff. Hit and
You
miss.
think they needed each other?
Yeah.
Well,
Because I can't think of a Beatle dud.
there's not one Beatles album I pick up the needle and go and jump around. I
Yeah.
listen to a Beatles record all the way through.
All the way through.
Yeah. Same here.
Lennon and McCartney on their solo stuff, I pop around quite a bit because it's hit and miss. So,
Although I heard like a lot of those Lennon McCartney songs, like one of them would bring it in like pretty much all the way finished, right?
They were.
So like the collaboration was not that.
I think that was just an agreement they made up early on. We're going to share everything.
Yeah, maybe.
You know, so. All right, Paul McCartney, top 3 tunes. Very good.
There it is.
I can live or let that die. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, well
Hey,
done.
You're coming up, Frank.
All right, very good.
Like a flower.
Like a flower. Yep. Boy. I'm thinking off the top of my head, one of my favorite albums of his is Give My Regards to Broad Street.
Oh.
And it's got Beatles tunes on it and stuff, but I really enjoyed that soundtrack. I never watched the movie all the way through, and it couldn't tell you if it's any good or not.
I just picked up from eBay for a song, literally. I think it's 09. Something Live in New York or whatever, like where Shea Stadium used to be. Now it's called Citi Field, and it's 2 CDs chock full of live tunes, Beatles tunes included, and then the DVD of the show.
Oh, sweet.
Nice.
And it's like he does one part of the show where he just turns all the house lights on and he goes, "Just let me drink it all in, folks." And it might as well have been Shea Stadium. It's was just packed. And great. I've been watching that DVD lately. Speaking of Paul Macca. Yeah.
Very good. All right. Well, guys, I don't have anything more to add. Jerry, what about you?
Do we have a Mount Rushmore?
For the 70s. It'll be the 70s.
Okay.
Yeah. So with that being said, you have anything you want to add, Jerry?
Yes, Jim and Frank and folks out in Conspiracy Land, we appreciate you listening and watching. This is episode 130. We really appreciate you hanging with us. You heard it, folks. It was Speedfossil, Pepperwood, and our good friend Minnie and the Glimmer Stars. It's out there, folks. There's great music. There's great tunes. There's great revisits. So thanks again and keep rocking.
All right. You know, stay fresh, cheese bags. That's it.
Oh, dang, Jaime.
Just cut right to the chase.
Yeah.
I can't, for some reason, I can't. I'm going to have to put that on my notes.
All right, Jim, what do you have
Dang.
for us?
Well, made it this far. Smash the like button, subscribe, ring that notification bell. You notice we don't ask you to do this up front. When you get to the end, if you like what you heard, just do it.
Yeah.
It only takes a minute. We'll slide into your DMs every 2 weeks or so. Nice and smooth.
Nice and easy. Yeah.
And also,
with no nudes.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. We're clean. We're clean, folks. We're clean. He's pretty clean. He's clean.
I do want to add, Jim, to that if you have subscribed to our YouTube channel and you're not getting the notifications when the episodes drop, let us know, and I'd be more than happy to send you the link. So I've got a few messages from people like, "What happened? I haven't seen a show in a month." Well, did you bother to look? No, I'm waiting for the notifications. Well, guess what? And sometimes they start back up again, but there are some.
Weird.
Some of our subscribers that are not getting the notifications. Maybe YouTube's tired of us. I don't know. So
no. Do you know an unsigned band? Send them our way.
Let us know. Yeah.
Yeah. JFJ show at gmail.com.
Leave a comment. Tell us what you think about
Email us.
Van
Yes.
Halen. Tell us what you think about Different Kind of Truth. What your favorite song is. What's your
Yeah.
favorite George Harrison song?
Yeah. Very good. All right, Jim. There's nothing else. Why don't you take us on home?
Shop is closed.